Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone over there. My name is Jennifer Amejang. I come from Uganda in East Africa. I work for Center for Ecological Governance and Gender Initiatives, an NGO that works on environmental concerns through advocacy, networking, community empowerment, and gender inclusiveness. I'm very happy to be part of this conference. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about the experience of rural women farmers who are practicing agroecology and they are feeding the entire world with safe and nutritious food. I'm also going to speak about their experience, especially in relation to the threats and what we can do to help them avert these threats. Indigenous women and food sovereignty. Some have defined food sovereignty as the right of communities to define and determine their own food system and cultural or traditional values that address their nutritional needs. This is quite very true of the rural women farmers in Uganda. Indigenous women farmers in Uganda are the custodians of food and seeds. They have practiced agroecology, a farming system that has for ages fed the communities, of course which communities make up the nations, with safe, healthy, and nutritious food. They have recognized that the principles of agroecology provides them with solid foundation for improving plant health, soil quality, and crop productivity. This has led to continued progress in knowledge of women farmers who practice agroecology in the recent past. Women are sharing their experiences and their capacities to respond to challenges that hinder the achievement of food sovereignty and are reverting to agroecology farming system to manage their food, their land, their forests sustainably. Through agroecology, women farmers are transforming their food system to what is acceptable for people's livelihoods and for nature conservation. They are reviving indigenous local seeds that are resilient and adapt to harsh conditions. In this way, they are growing varieties of crops in organic soils within their own surroundings. And in that case, if one crop fails because of a pest or a disease, then they can still make a harvest from another crop that is resilient to harsh weather and all those other conditions. This cannot be achieved from industrial single crop agriculture, which heavily thrives on chemicals and artificial fertilizers. Seed selection and sharing. Women farmers endeavor not to buy seeds from the markets, as such seeds are not reliable because they are for commercial purposes, for profits, are not carefully selected with the farmer in mind for good yields. If the farmers are to buy seeds, then they buy from the local trusted farmers, but we always know that communities usually share their seeds among themselves for community seed sustainability. Communities practice seed exchange, which enables them to get what one does not have from another and give to the friend what the friend also doesn't have. The seed exchange is a cause for celebration between communities, especially among women smallholder farmers. Inter-community exchange are helping weave back seed exchange networks between communities, thus improving the health and diversity of seeds that are available within the community. During harvest, they select their seeds carefully, ensuring they pick the best seeds for the next planting. The seed selection is done on grain seeds, on vegetatively propagated seeds, on animals and birds. All these are considered as seeds. Seed banks. Women prepare seed banks to ensure the seeds are safe and there is enough seeds for planting in the next season and for sharing with a neighbor, with a friend, with a newly wedded daughter-in-law. The older women guide the younger women in food sustainability, in that they train them on how to harvest, how to plant, how to grow, and all those other issues that are connected with seed and food. Improved local economies. A return to the local food system, to agroecology, is reviving many people's livelihoods, improving crop diversity, good health, healthy environment, and improved local economies. Not only women, but the entire community members ensure that their funds rotate within their community. They spend money to buy food from the food store or a farm owned by a local person. That money is likely to be spent locally again and again. For instance, a person can buy milk from a local farmer who will also buy vegetables still within, and that one will also buy meat from a local meat seller and the local meat seller can also buy food in a restaurant where food is grown locally. When the money is spent in that way, it keeps circulating many times within the local community, benefiting them, thus sustaining the economy. But when one spends the coin in the supermarket, then sooner or later, the coin will leave the community and go towards corporate profits. Agroecology also harmonizes community forest management. Agroecology is facilitating women's management of community forests. The forests enable women to access wild foods, to supplement on their diets, to have access to medicinal plants, a source of firewood for cooking, and also for environmental stability. Where forests have completely been depleted, women are implementing nature-based conservation. They are practicing community forest management, which is enabling them to restore degraded landscapes, have access to wood fuel, to diverse fruit trees, and to wild plants, which are quite good for their own health. They also imagine that in most cases, when a forest has really grown very well, it is a perfect place where families can resolve their disputes in a soothing environment. Threats to agroecology. In the recent past, agroecology has been interrupted by industrial agriculture, which is not delivering on its promise to feed the world. This has accelerated land grab, leading to community displacement, loss of identity, and livelihoods. Environmental degradation due to heavy use of external inputs, ecosystem depletion by replacing natural forest with plantations, climate events such as floods, landslides, droughts, disease outbreaks, and the like, food insecurity as false solutions to food security is promoted in the name of improved seed varieties, leading to famine and poor health. Lack of access to land for women is also a threat to food security. What we have done as CSOs. Women empowerment is an enabling force to dismantling patriarchy. It enables women to forge good working relationships with male comrades and puts them in better position to influence disempowering circumstances that hinder the achievement of women's rights to access to and use of land, such as culture, laws, social norms, and other power dynamics. Because we have been building community capacities with local knowledge, men and women are joining hands to ensure there is good and enough food for all. Observation. Conventional agriculture is not the solution to food sovereignty, but has generated poverty, soil degradation, biodiversity loss, and water pollution. Agroecology, on the other hand, and community forest management harmonizes the gender roles in communities and provides people with protective, healthy, nutritious food and a healthy environment and safer territories against climate events, more especially during the current crisis of climate change and COVID-19. It gives communities, especially women, the opportunity to live in harmony with nature as traditional caretakers. And a return to the local food system, to agroecology, is reviving many people's livelihoods. What can we do? Therefore, women need support from government to promote traditional and sustainably raised food. They need support from scientific institutions to help in creating inputs specifically for traditional food production, such as efficient microorganisms for pest and disease control. Hence, scientific institutions need a cultural transformation to appreciate and promote cultural governance systems that have protected food, land, and healthy ecosystems for ages, and merge these into their studies and research for healthy food production, and disseminate this knowledge to a wider audience for implementation and not for manipulation. Rural women need support from all who have the stake in influencing policies and practices to produce sustainable, diverse, healthy, and nutritious food available for all people. They need capacity to say no to false solutions to food sovereignty, which are drivers to reduced food production. They need empowerment to defend their land from speculative land grabbers for large-scale industrial agriculture. Women's empowerment and development is very key in dispute resolution. It puts them in better position to engage with the companies and with government on their own. To continue pushing for agroecology and community forest management for food sovereignty and the true economic development for communities. Since women are the caretakers of families, they are custodians of food and seeds, they have a direct connect with the land, working in harmony with it day in and day out. They need to have access to land, which is the primary source of food production. Therefore, there is greater need to empower women with knowledge to understand, appreciate, and exercise their rights over land and other resources and benefits. We are what we eat. Let us eat safe, healthy, and nutritious food, because the choice of what we eat will determine our health, especially now in the new normal of the global crisis, COVID-19, and such kind of negativities. Let us practice civilization and development with sound minds by protecting and conserving humanity with safe, healthy, and nutritious food through agroecology farming system. Therefore, together, let us continue elevating the discussions around the numerous threats to traditional food system and the potential opportunities for leveraging agroecology. Through these discussions, let us build the resilience of smallholder farmers and the agroecology systems they depend on. Agroecology farming system is one of the simple ways to take care of the earth. Transforming the entire food system is the right move today. As the limitations, ruinous health and environmental impacts of industrial agriculture become more evident, agroecology is the best alternative now to feed the world with safe, healthy, and nutritious food. Agroecology is our future, it is our life. Thank you for listening to me.